What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Every Week We Follow. So today we've got a special on the FA Cup. We're not going to be talking about the Preston game just yet. We're just going to talk about the fact that, I don't know if anyone else realised, it's 10 years since that FA Cup final against Arsenal. Is this just the kind of thing that we need to do once a decade?
Oh, I think the proof's in the pudding, mate. Absolutely. We seem to only doing it in the FA Cup once a decade because since 2015, we've barely been past the third round.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get to that. It's been a horrendous run, hasn't it? But as always, everyone, if you're here and you're new here or anything, pop a little subscribe, get your notification bell on, give us a like and drop us a comment down below as well. Do you think that we can go on to the final? Will we beat Preston? And what's your kind of like favourite thing from the FA Cup in the last 10 years? Or what's the thing you always remember? The thing I remember, Gaz, was Stevenage.
Oh.
That's the thing that I remember most. I remember Leander Dendoncker letting a player nick the ball from him, runs in, he then fouls him. See you later. Brilliant. Emery knockout football. What the hell? We got knocked out. Like, mate, the way he runs around, it's like a little T-Rex. It's like a little velociraptor. It's like,
God bless him. God bless Dendoncker. Dead donkey. Do you know what? First of all, mate, it's good to be back. Not talking about international football. I know England are playing tonight, and when it's go that, but mate, I hate international football now. I'm just not interested in it.
Like, well, evidently, so does every one of our viewers because it's probably the worst performing video we've ever done.
Yeah. Do you know? Funny enough, though, mate, I actually really enjoyed that.
I enjoyed it, but no one else cared.
Yeah, so it's probably like it's a Villa fan trying to why talking about England. Yeah, but he was anyway, right? It's fine. You live and learn, don't you? You try these new things and see what happens. And you know what? The most depressing thing, my best memory from the FA Cup or whatever, the one that sticks in my mind in the last 10 years is that the highlight is, mate, was Alfie Bowe singing the national anthem at the 2015 final, having driven 5.5 hours from Devon to Wembley to watch us get absolutely mullered, right? 4-0 after giving my semi-final ticket to you, so you could go and watch us beat Liverpool, right?
that was Jack Grealish's like real kind of like launch onto the scene.
He was quality in that game. Mate, he had the game of his life. Fabian Delph played well. Like it was all.
It was so good. That was our final. That was that and then we made the final. It was just terrible. And did we get a shot on target?
No, I don't think we did. Like I don't remember. I certainly don't remember one anyway, mate. It was all. I think it was probably worse than the Chelsea final in 2000, mainly because Chelsea were crap in that game too, and anyone could have won it. But Arsenal scored 4 goals, and like you just think to get to that final, right, and not even put a shift in. Like that was the worst thing for me. We were not even in the game. Like we weren't fighting for it. It was over. I mean, obviously that was the season we got relegated when it like 15, 16. It was quite
that's the problem with any of these cups, right? Like we talk about being in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. We talk about being in the quarterfinal of the FA Cup. And it's like, cool, we could get to the final of either of them and just not do anything. And then it becomes you were just a runner-up. You didn't do anything. You didn't win anything. You didn't perform on the day. The one game you need to perform, you didn't perform.
And I'm just trying to get away from the negative in my own brain, which, by the way, Villa have created.
We are just massive bottlers. We bottle it. We bottle it in the league when we've got a chance to like really kick on. We bottle it in finals. We bottle it. Like the only time I can remember, obviously, thinking back, obviously we won the League Cup, but I can't like remember that well. It was a bit too early for me. And then, but yeah, it's just getting promoted again. That's the only kind of like glory I know of.
Yeah. Well,
I wasn't even there.
I remember the night. I'm a little bit older than you, so I remember the 94 and 96 Carling Cup finals. Or Coca-Cola Cup finals as they were back then. But as I said to you off air, I haven't seen Villa successful at Wembley when I've been there. I didn't go to the playoff final because I was on holiday. I sold my tickets to my mate. I missed the FA Cup semi-final when we won. What else? Well, that's it really. The others we've all lost finals. Went to the 2010 Carling Cup final. We got robbed by Phil Dowd, that stupid referee. How he didn't send Vidic off.
Mate, yeah.
Bottled it, mate. Bottled it, like, and I'm not saying we would have won the game, but it would have changed the game significantly had Man U been down to 10 men. Right?
No, I didn't go that game. Did I go that game? I feel like I maybe did. I don't know. Anyway,
but it was, not great memories of. So obviously, like you said, the playoff final was probably the biggest success we've had. I mean, that was celebrating for days when everyone was. Yeah. That was Tyrone Mings getting a train back to Bournemouth to kind of in his Villa kit to come back to Villa Park to sign.
I was in Bali. Well, so I was celebrating out there. I was watching it. They just had it on local TV. I was like, "This is brilliant."
Yeah,
it's fantastic. But
I think my point is that I would love for us, and we've mentioned this a couple of times already so far on the show, that are we turning the corner with Emery? Like, could this be the season? Like you said, it's 10-year anniversary of getting trounced in the final to now go on and do something, because we're getting all our players are coming back, and we've just shown a little bit of grit and fire in our bellies.
Tell you what, but since that final, my God, have we been on one hell of a hangover? What on earth?
Yeah,
look at this. So we managed to get to the fourth round, and then we get Man City. We get battered 4-0.
4-0, yeah.
Third round.
Tottenham,
Peterborough. Third round. Stevenage. Fourth round. We went to the away leg of that, so that was horrendous. And then we get beat on the return, and now we are finally making some kind of dent. We are making some kind of journey here that you were just hoping doesn't end. I mean,
you arguably say, mate, that we had the favourable draw for this quarter final, and if a year is going to be to win it, it is this year for us. I do. Can we do it? Absolutely, we can do it. It's just whether, like you said, I think lots of us as Villa fans have got like PTSD of bottling it, like you said, massive bottlers. So while we believe we can do it, right? I think every Villa fan goes, but we are going to bottle it, aren't we? We'll probably smash Preston, get to the final again, and then it's just that maybe lack of experience. But then I think actually with Emery at the helm, I genuinely believe he can achieve anything. Like we've got, and if those players that are coming back from injury and with Asensio coming back to fitness are already tearing up the Premier League as it is, and he's not even fully fit. I don't know if anyone, and you probably have, but watched the highlights of that game we just played.
Oh my God. That goal.
It's insane.
It doesn't matter who it's against. That goal is ridiculous. He has absolutely no right to just volley that. And also, he's just like,
but it's a side foot volley as well on the run. It's not through the laces. It's just a side foot play straight into the roof. I was like, oh my days.
If we can, oh my God, we have.
But mate, then the following day,
sign that player. We have to sign him. Whatever, and apparently, from what I've been reading, it's like it's going to happen. Like, as in, we're basically going 15 million. Yeah, like don't care what his salary is. We are signing this player. I think the offer of if we were to make Rashford an offer is all dependent on if we got Champions League. I think if we got Champions League, there'd be potential, but his salary, mate, is just absolutely eye-watering.
Well, it's ridiculous, isn't it? I read somewhere that if we were to get Champions League, then we could buy him for 60 million. Because I don't know if there's something written in this loan code, but to say if he helps us get to the Champions League.
Well, if he helps us get to the Champions League, then the fee's higher.
Well, yeah, so it was 40 million or something. It was rumoured, but I read again. It might just be internet bullshit, mate, because I read a lot of bullshit.
Salary, I don't. To be honest, the actual purchase price doesn't matter a huge amount. It's the salary.
Yeah,
that 300k a week where he's like that's just
mate. You'd have to take a pay cut. Unless he wins us for Champions League, he ain't worth 300 grand a week, is he? No one's going to pay that, regardless of where he goes. I don't care. He's not done enough.
He looks all right for England, by the way. He looks all right. He played all right against Albania.
Yeah. From what I saw, he tracked back, made some good runs, played some good crossfield balls. Yeah. Like he's done all right for us. Like he hasn't set the world alight, but
just to highlight then, and obviously this has gone slightly off the FA Cup chat, but then just to jump onto someone who's had a complete opposite experience on international duty, poor Donny Marlon, man. Donny Marlon, he's just having the worst season ever, isn't he? He's moved to us. He's moved to us wanting to play Champions League football. Can't play in the Champions League. Doesn't play in the FA Cup. Was probably going to play against Cardiff. And he's probably going to start that. And then he was ill. So he didn't end up playing in that. Can't get minutes in the Premier League. The guy then goes to an international duty with Netherlands. I think he comes on for like the last, I don't know, 5-10 minutes. I think he gets a chance and misses it as well. And it's just like the poor guy. You got to feel for him, man. You got to feel.
Well, do a little bit, mate. But I have to ask the question as well. There has to be a reason behind that. Like I don't know.
What?
Like behind him not getting the minutes. Like, so there's one thing not being picked for the Champions League squad.
There is.
Right?
I think from what I've read and from what I was thinking before, I kind of like thought about it. Because we've got Rashford, we've had to change the way we play. Our attacking winger is now the left. Our attacking winger is not the right. So we've basically flipped the team. So, and you're not going to leave Rodgers out. You're not going to leave Asensio out. So there's just no space for it. There's no, he can't play off the left. So we're playing Rashford on the left-hand side, and it means then we're not bombing down that right. So Marlon's just unfortunately collateral damage at the moment. He's not getting his game time.
Well, yeah. Let's hope that can change in the future, then, mate. And maybe next season will be a big season for him.
I think it will do because, for instance, if Rashford doesn't join, I'm fairly confident that if we're gonna sell a player that might still have some kind of value, we probably will sell Bailey. So I'm like, then there's a massive opportunity for Marlon on that right hand side to actually like have an impact on the team. You got to feel for him though, man. He's literally come in. He was told about Champions League football. He publicly talked about wanting to play in the Champions League. He's now not in the Champions League. He's not even in the team because we've had to change the way we play. Yeah, just.
Well, I would quite happily let Bailey go in place of Marlon because Marlon's already shown to me this in the short cameo that he's had that he looks 10 times more lively than Bailey ever did. And Bailey's had a poor season. We all know how I feel about Bailey. I just think his time has come to an end. Yeah. He needs to move on.
Is he back? He's back. Oh, you went for a second. That was weird.
Oh, did I? Oh. Well, magic trick, mate.
Anyway, back onto the FA Cup. So, obviously, we had two particular low points from what you can see here. Obviously, Peterborough and Stevenage.
Yeah, they were dreadful, weren't they?
Yeah, I mean, this one here, and they're both home as well. Both at home, which is just horrendous. Like, this is lovely website, fantastic. Thank you, Transfer Market. Right. Right, hang on. Let me zoom out. There we go. Like these were the lines up those days. Keenan Davis up front, mate.
Oh well. Oh God.
Remember the days of this. Look at this.
Keenan Davis, the lost soul, mate.
Yeah, great. Callum O'Hare playing in central midfield.
Oh wow.
Bjarnason, Horahan, Taylor, John Terry, mate. John Terry. He must have been like, what have I done here? Playing against losing to Peterborough in the cup.
Mate, just those names, like, how did they ever make it? Like Keenan Davis, how did he ever become a pro baller? Like, he was obviously a big lad, but like he was a striker that didn't score goals.
Left-footed shot, 1-0. Yeah. To be fair to him, he went to Forest and did well. So he was just
where is he now? If he did that well,
I got scoot. Let's have a look. Let's have a look where he is now. Where is he? Oh, he was born in Stevenage. I'm surprised he wasn't like some kind of like undercover agent when we played them later on. Where is he now then? Does anyone know in the comments before I
let us know? Yeah, well, he had a lot of potential, but he never reached that potential in terms of he was useless in front of goal.
He's in Serie A. Is he?
Oh yeah, he did. He went to Serie A, didn't he?
Udinese?
Yeah.
He's got 2 goals and 17 appearances and 1 assist. That's not great, is it? That's not great. Oh,
So looking at the thing is though, when you look at these games like against lower league opposition, and it's really disappointing because you think even with even that team against Peterborough was probably a makeshift team. Like
yeah.
O'Hare wasn't like a starter for us really.
No.
He started in that game. I don't think Keenan Davis would have necessarily started. These are. And we still couldn't do it. And it was the same with the Stevenage game. Like that was Emery's first take the FA Cup really, and it was kind of one of those where he was experimenting still because we were obviously in the middle of a relegation battle here. So I don't think the FA Cup was important. He was basically saying, look, these are the players that aren't playing. Go out there. It was still a strong lineup though. We put out when it was Coutinho, Buendia.
But that no, I remember it now. Yeah, because we were absolutely cruising. I remember we were 1-0 up.
Yeah.
And then Dendonka got sent off in like the 85th minute. And then they scored 2 goals.
Yeah. But to be fair to them, they just wanted it more. I remember I went to that game, I remember thinking, easy win or whatever, we'll see lots of goals. And
oh my god,
this is the magic of the FA Cup, mate. Like Stevenage turned up and battled all the way to the end and didn't make it easy for us, and we just crumbled.
Yeah.
They just wanted it more.
I mean, we did. I mean, even against Stevenage, like you think this team would still do it, but we did have like Jan Bednarek, Callum Chambers, Augustinson, Olsen in goal, which is obviously usually an absolute implosion, regardless. Like before the game kicked off, but we did have Dougie Luiz, Samson, Coutinho, who, by the way, I saw the other. I completely forgot he's still on our books. He's still on our books. His contract runs until 2026. Like he's got another year.
Isn't he back in Brazil? I thought he'd gone back to Brazil.
So he's at Vasco da Gama on loan, right? And apparently, I think they want to like try and keep him longer, or like there's a Mexican team that want him or something. And apparently, he said he doesn't want to go there. And then apparently Vasco da Gama were like they like publicly they were like, we're going to try and extend his stay and stuff. And then they said we just need to speak to Villa. And then apparently they spoke to Villa, and then they've gone, okay, well we actually need to look at the finances. So obviously we've probably asked for too much or whatever. And it's just like, how is this guy still on our books? This is the problem. This is why we've got 90% of our was it 95% of our revenues going on player like wages.
Stevie G effect. Coutinho was the one that almost was. Do you know what I mean? Like
Asensio is what he should have been.
Yeah, 100%, mate. But
I mean, I kind of do. I kind of go, what would happen if you threw Coutinho on the pitch with Asensio? Would there just be this kind of like IQ? Because the problem we always had with Coutinho was that he was, a lot of the time, he was one step ahead of the rest of the team. And no one else could keep up with. No one else quite knew what he was doing. He was just a whole other level. Like you could at times, but then you put him with Asensio. Can you imagine that? Rashford, Coutinho, and Asensio running like.
The thing is, what I'll say is, mate, the difference between Coutinho and Asensio, for instance, is the desire and work rate off the ball. So I've never seen a player come into a club on loan and from Asensio's debut to now, that guy's movement, mate, it should be studied. Like it should be absolutely studied. Any footballer, budding young footballer, I'll stand by this, needs to watch him play because it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. If you haven't seen the goal from the Abu Dhabi game, go and watch it, right, and watch his movement from the left hand side. As soon as the ball is released, he's off on his, and it's undefendable, and he does it consistently, mate. And this is what I always look for when we're at the Villa. Like half the time, I don't even look at where the players. I look at what people are doing off the ball because that's the beauty of watching live football. And you can tell a lot about a player that what he does. And Coutinho was a lazy prick, right? Yeah. He was a great ability-wise, mate. Arguably one of the best players the world's ever seen. He's a quality player. Coutinho is, and we had some proper highlights with him. I was buzzing. But he was so inconsistent. Like if you didn't feel like it, or like I say in that FA Cup game against Stevenage, he was like, "Nah, I'm not. This is below me." Do you know what I mean? Whereas Asensio is like, he's raising the whole team, mate. Like it's just like there's levels, and people go, oh shit, this is a guy who's coming from low. And look at him, he's fucking
Yeah,
running around like a blue-ass fly, impacting games, changing games.
yeah.
And players that do that, mate, are worth their weight in gold. Whatever it takes, you pay.
Because how old is he? 28.
27, 28, yeah.
Oh mate, if we sign him, that's absolutely silly. Like that is just an absolute joke of a. Yeah, he's
I mean,
20, 29. 29, yeah. So
right,
he'll be 30 in January next year. So he's just turned 29.
okay, but even so, mate, like they're athletes now. He could play for another 3-4
Yeah, I was
years.
going to say
At
because
his level.
it's not about his pace or anything, is it? It's that movement, it's that little like kind of like positioning. So he only needs a little burst here and there. So yeah, you could easily play for like 30.
If you've got pace around him, i.e., Rashford, Rodgers, like this guy will like just bring out the best in these players, like he will. So
I feel sad that I haven't I didn't watch that friendly. I haven't seen him for over a week. It's like I feel like I need some Asensio in my life.
Mate, I am like pushing all over him, mate. I can't. I've been watching all the training videos. After they scored that goal, the day later in training, right? It's on the Villa website. So go and check it out. This ball comes over to the right side, mate, and as it comes, he just flicks it up with his left heel. It comes over him and he volleys it straight in the roof of the net, right? And even everyone in training is like, "Oh my days!" Like even though it's training, like, what is he doing? Like this is taking the piss. He's taking the piss out of everyone in training.
How have we managed to get this player? Like he could easily, like if we do manage to sign him, and it's a big if still. Like even though everyone's saying, "Oh, we're going to do it" and stuff, I think you're going to have more suitors come in as well. Probably, like I'll be so like if there is truth to be said in the numbers and stuff, surely in the summer, like surely we're not going to be the only ones trying to get him.
Well, look, I would say that before we wouldn't have the pulling power, but I think if we can finish the season strong, mate, and win a trophy, and like I think we've got a great chance of signing him. I think he'll stay and play for Emery, and I think what he brings, we talk about can we do it? Can we win the FA Cup? Can we get into the Champions League? Right, this guy has got so much experience at doing this, right? So even that what he brings to the dressing room, if he can get us over the line, mate, like you just whatever it is, you give it to him just like we've given it to Emery. You buy his shares in a club that he wants. You buy him a football club. Whatever it takes to keep him, like you treat him like royalty, mate. Because these players and these kind of managers are like rocking horse shit, mate. Like you're trying to build a legacy here, right? And we're only 2-3 years into Emery, right? If you want success, you've got to give him.
Mad. That's absolutely mad, by the way, to say like Sean Dyche was at Everton, I think 2.5 years.
Yeah.
And it's like, how have we gone from where we were to where we are? And we're talking about possibly trying to win the Champions League, winning the FA Cup, and be qualified for the Champions League again via the league. What? Yeah. I'm in a parallel universe and I don't understand that. Like, what? How do I wake up from this dream? Because this is chaos.
So, like, as we've said, obviously we could end up with nothing this year, right? Which would be obviously deemed as probably a failure. Yeah. However, the fact that we're still competing with 10 games, 8 games, 9 games to go, and still in all these positions, like you give this man as much time.
It's almost now. So, like, I kind of see it as we talk about Emery being like a brilliant specialist at knockout football. That's almost what this is now. Yeah, like it's an 8-game, like tournament. It's like you just got to win more than you draw or lose. Yeah, mate, I mean the next is it 2 weeks or something? Is just I feel like we've said this every pod, but this really is pivotal now. Like this is like Preston game, Brighton, Forest, and the Champions League, and it's just like. Oh my God.
Imagine if it all goes according to plan, mate, we'll be in the Champions League semi-final and probably 4th in the Premier League. Oh my days. Fuck.
Which one do you right? If you had to okay, of the games, so you've got Preston, Brighton, Forest, PSG twice, right?
Yeah.
If you're gonna say we're gonna lose 2 of them, that's what I'm not gonna I hope we don't. But say we lost 2 of them, which 2 would they be? Would you want? Which 2 would you prefer?
Okay, so
because I feel like if you lose to Brighton, I think our Champions League credentials become a bit difficult to like. I
Yeah.
think top 5 becomes unreachable. I think if you beat Brighton but lose to Forest, maybe not. But Brighton's so important for us to win. I think.
I agree with that. I think, yeah, out of Forest and Brighton, definitely lose to Forest because they are almost guaranteed qualification. We can't catch them. If Brighton beat us, then like you say, it puts them right in the mix for the European place themselves. So yeah, I'd Brighton, and then to lose the first leg in Paris 1-0 and bring them back to Villa Park, and that's it, and then smash them at Villa Park. That's the scenario, mate.
Gary's still going for the. He's still going. So you're still going for the Champions League qualification via the league and winning the Champions League.
Mate, I want it all. I want it all. That's. I'm optimistic. I want it all. I want the FA Cup. I want the Champions League, and I want the 5th place finished. Come on.
Can we? Yeah. Can we win? Can we win the double?
Why not? Why can't we, mate? Tell me why we can't. We can't because we bottle it. We've talked about it already. No, come on. Optimism at its best, mate. Come on, we can do
mate.
this. Like,
I think the main thing is we've managed to somehow, right. So people talk about how we've not got going this season, how we've been really inconsistent, how we've not been playing great, and we've had all these injuries, and somehow we've managed to kind of ride the storm. We're almost like back to fully fit squad.
Yeah.
Like they're almost all back now, and we're still fighting on 3 fronts.
Yeah,
and we haven't really got going.
We haven't got going. Right, as I said to you in the last 4 shows, right, there's always one team that goes on this like fucking right. That's going to be us. We're going to do it. I can feel it in my bones, man. I can feel it. Like we're due to turn a corner. Everything's a click. Even Ali might start scoring goals. Even like you just don't know. Watkins to score 10 goals in 9 games, and he ends up. And I just eat my hat, and we can all make fun of me for being a complete knob, right? But this can happen. It can happen. Let's be PMA, positive mental attitude, as Lee Christie once said. Right,
it's PMT, mate. It's a very different thing.
Yeah, I know. I am for it, and I think as we're taking it game by game. But like I say, like you said, this next 12, 13 days, mate, could be the best 13 days of one's life.
I can't handle it. I'm sweating thinking about it. I'm just like, I can't. I just want time to pass way fast. Like we've got.
Yeah, mate, get rid of this international bullshit that no one cares about. Like we will qualify for the World Cup anyway. Like they should
just play the tournaments. England, there's no qualifiers. There's no Nations leadership. Just play the tournament. Don't bother with anything else. Put us in it. Because we're going to get there. It's ridiculous to even think that we're not going to, other than the time where we didn't, right? But like,
mate, for the qualifiers, they should just do thumb wars. Do you know what I mean? Like, just kind of.
They should just play Football Manager and see what the outcome is, and then just go, "Yeah, there you go, you're in." Just use AI. That's all anyone's doing with everything
now. Just
have
90,000 people watching Harry Kane play FIFA against one of their players, and just do that. Do you know what I mean?
Oh God. Anyway.
I know this football's equality at FIFA. They got loads of time to spare. Yeah. So but I have to believe, mate. Like this could be our year, And if it's not, I'm not going to be too downhearted about it because I think we're building something. I think we're so close to being something like proper, and we have to.
Well, the thing is I feel like this season needs to be. We need to do something this season because I feel like the Premier League now, the teams around us, they've all leveled up massively as well. Like Brighton, they're consistently up around it. Bournemouth, they've been consistently growing each season. Forest is a bit of a surprise package, and I'd be quite surprised if they did it again like next season, but you never know. And then Newcastle, they're up there now. Chelsea, they're starting to actually do something. Man U will at some point turn it round. Spurs, and then it's just like.
I mean, it just could be worse, couldn't it? Because we could be.
And also, Man City around an off season. So you think about next season. Like, if we don't do something this season, it's just going to be harder and harder. Like
I've said this from the start. If we've got any serious ambitions of growing the club and waking the sleeping giant, which we can do, we have to have some form of success this year because we have to we have to be able to make those signings of Asensio, potentially Rashford, like to bolster the squad. Like we need something to attract the players that actually Villa are going somewhere. Now it doesn't necessarily have to be the Champions League, right? But if it was, that helps massively because I think you get the best of the best. But in terms of if you look at the growth of the club, like you say, in that short 3-year span, you go, Emery's onto something here. He's building something, and they've been close and thereabouts, and we competed. So it's worth investing because they're in and there and thereabouts. And everyone says we're not going to do it anyway. So I love an underdog story, mate. Come on.
You know what scares me the most, though? You know what scares me the most?
Well,
I'm pretty sure almost all of Emery's projects have been 4 to 5 years.
Don't say it. Right.
They've all been 4 to 5 years.
What?
They have though, and they have. You can't deny it, can you?
Yeah,
they have.
Mate, what are you doing? Why are you being? Stop being so negative.
Let me look. Let me look. Right. Hang on. Listen. Right. So, Lorca Deportiva. So 2004 to 2006, 2 years. Almera, 2006 to 2008, 2 years. Valencia. 2008 to 2012.
Are you doing Spanish or something? Is that what you're doing, these stats?
Yeah, Valencia. Valencia, 2008 to 2012, 4 years. And that was a Valencia, and that was a very successful period as well, Valencia. Spartak Moscow, it was at 2012. Sevilla, 13 to 16, 3 years. PSG, 16 to 18, there was a bit of a difficulty there, 2 years. Arsenal, we all know about that. Villarreal, 2020 to 2022. The guy has not been anywhere longer than 4 years. Anywhere.
Right.
So I'd love it
right now, right, with your stats and all these 2 to 3 years nonsense, right? What out of all those clubs you've just mentioned, how many have invested in his family and built in shares into a club to build?
Also, how many of them are Birmingham? That's all I would say. It's like he's living. Surely he's going to get to the point. His family are going to be like, "Can I have some sun, please? Can I go to a nice sunny part of Spain?"
Mate, if Emery leaves us because he's bored of Birmingham weather, I will lose my shit. Right?
Go to that stadium every day in Aston, just seeing all the number of mattresses and fridges along the way and counting them.
Granted, right? It's not exactly like an appealing place to go, Aston. Right? Let's be honest. But
I mean, like I said, I'd love him to be here for 10. Do a Pep and be here for forever, ages, or do a Alex Ferguson.
I don't think he's going to leave the Villa unless we win something. If we win to win something this season,
okay. So if we win the FA Cup and he goes next season,
I'll be gutted, obviously. But I think in his mind he'll go, I've won a trophy, something that hasn't happened at Villa for 30 years. Do you know what I mean? So,
yeah. Like I said, no, at the moment, right, he's not going to go unless he got I can't think. I've been trying to think of where he would go. The only thing I think of is I don't know, City want him because Pep's leaving. I don't know, but at the moment we're on the up, right, and we just continue going up. So obviously, you can't just keep going up. So at some point there will be a.
Maybe there will be, but I don't think he's had the control that he's got at the Villa anywhere else. I don't think he's had that level of control. I don't think he's had that level of input. I don't think he's had the level where he's controlling everything. I'm sure
it's risky. It's risky from our side, right?
Yes, it's massively risky. But at the same time, if you know that your job's safe and you know you're building something, which he's probably been trying to do, which he probably would have wanted to do at PSG, and he probably wanted, he's going in for those big jobs that he probably wanted to do at Arsenal, but not given the time. And all of a sudden, you're given a Premiership club that's got a massive history that has the potential to go and break the top four and fuck Sky and fuck all their fucking Man United, Man City, Spurs, Chelsea bullshit, right? And bring back the glory days of a founding member of the Football League, right? That this wouldn't even be a thing if we were talking about it wasn't for us, right? So let's invest in that and see what we can do. Can we get them European glory? He knows it can be done on a sixpence. Right? We did it in 1982. I know it's fucking forever ago, but
also part of it, right? And this is a ridiculous thing to say, but I love being the underdog, right? I love being the team that people forget about. But then when you win stuff, or when you qualify, or you do all these things, you then become not that. And then everyone's all everyone wants you to do is fail. Or everyone's just kind of looking at you going, Oh well, that was a fluke. Like you can't have an off season. So like for instance, the Champions League. So everyone's looking at it and going, "Oh well, are they going to qualify again? If they don't, oh, it's disappointing." You know,
Yeah,
it was a fluke season. And then it's the same with like if we don't win anything, and it becomes like this. It's just like we become an almost team. But then if you win, it just becomes this thing where it's a weird feeling because I feel like it's almost like if you win the stuff, it's then like okay, cool. Well, the only way from here is down. Like we can't just keep winning it. We're not going to keep winning it.
Well, mate, yeah, that's the life of breath of football. But if we can just have some glory years, mate, where we win some stuff, I'll be fucking over the moon. Do you know what I mean? Like, just let's live it, enjoy the roller coaster. And if we can win some stuff and then end up getting relegated again, brilliant. We won't be able to get some away tickets, mate, and start actually going to away games. That'd be fantastic. Right, I'm all in. Like, just. Get rid of the glory hunters, do you know what I mean? And we can stop talking about corporate bullshit and get back to just having 32,000 at Villa Park.
Yeah, you've seen all the stuff about like the reselling tickets and all that kind of thing for PSG because it's sold out, but then apparently the club didn't say it was sold out, and I think it's because they wanted people to buy these corporate hospitality higher price tickets and stuff, and then they've been on like third party reseller sites. So I'm sure I am actually probably about 99.9% sure that we'll have the same situation we had at Celtic, where we're going to have PSG fans all over the Villa fans.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And that will be worse, mate, because some of them are pretty hardcore. Like, then they're French as well, so it's just like they're
I still think it's very brave, mate. Like, I know they're hardcore, but you're talking about probably 3 or 4 of them against. I think
there was stuff that kicked off against Celtic. Obviously,
it was stuff that kicked off. Like it's a poor show that shouldn't, and it's a piss take when you've got fans genuinely trying to get tickets for games. So for that to happen is poor from the club. Like I still stand by this. Like we've been Champions League on the pitch, right? But off the pitch, like the whole corporate kind of stuff has been really poor, mate. Like I don't.
I think the way it's been handled has been poor, but I do think actually the figures are looking quite good. Like from a commercial point,
from a commercial
point of view, our revenue and outside like the Champions League money that we get, like in terms of hospitality and the ticket revenue and stuff, it is a whole other level. And part of that is because the prices have been another level.
But it's simple for me. I don't. Part of me doesn't. I get it right within football, price inflation, all that kind of stuff, right? And the profits and scalability and all that kind of jazz. But if you're going to start singing from the rooftops that we're a Champions League club with all this corporate kind of things going on, then the least you can do is make sure, one, you've got staff that can fucking read, right, to get you food on the concourse. 2, you've got toilets that you're not swimming in your own piss when you go to the toilet, right? And 3, that like the seats you sit on are all maintained and taken care of. Like then you can start going, okay, corporate this and that. But it's basically like it's getting like society. Forget about the minions who are paying like the peanuts to come and watch us play. They can fucking rot in the squalor. We're just going to focus on the prawn brigade, ripping the atmosphere out of us. Like, just find the balance. Like, I get it. It's about money, and it's so scary. I'm scared that eventually season tickets won't be available. Like, they'll just cease them because they'll just want tourists coming in because they'll pay the money. Like, and because that's what it shows at the moment. When the games are so in demand, people are paying stupid amounts of money for tickets, and well, they know that's happening. They don't care about loyal fans. They'll be happy to get rid because they know they can fill the ground anyway. So it's like, but I think that's a dangerous path to go down because you ultimately lose the essence of what an FA Cup tie is. Do you know what I mean? Like for Preston and stuff going, like that is what it's about. It's about lower league teams having the opportunity to play on the big stage, man. And like we're just trampling over it. It makes me sad. I hope it doesn't come to that. But it feels like it is.
I mean, it feels like it's storming towards it, and I don't know if or how it stops unless there's some kind of regulation that comes in. But I don't know why.
Mate, I think it's a runaway train. I think you can.
Well, it's all turned into. I mean, it was always a business element to it, right? But it is now pretty much just it's an investment opportunity. It's a business. It's not about the fans, and I think it is the case that they know now that if the hardcore don't go, someone will. So they'll just fill it with.
I think we're in real danger of outpricing the working class person to go to football matches because what they'll do.
Yeah. No, they already have. We know people that are season ticket holders around us that don't go to they can't go to the Champions League games. They haven't been able to. They haven't been able to. We've been like, where are you? And he's like, I can't afford it. I'm like, oh, that's crap. Like, you know.
Well, the thing is, this eventually, mate, will go down the route of pay-per-view, and it's coming with like the Netflix style kind of for your team, and that is a way of keeping the minions at home watching it on TV, right, making a crap load of money from that, while you have the rich people who can afford to go to games.
Yeah,
and that's the way it's going to go. And not that, I just hate that because that will be me eventually. I don't want it.
But you'll be there with your VR headset, mate, so it'll be like you there anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah, mate. But thank God for the podcast because then we could just talk about it anyway. But like, maybe we'll have to watch the games about it on it. So we'll do just live watch-alongs with actual footage and talk about the good old days when we used to be able to go down and cheer them on. Yay!
Yeah.
God,
anyway, 40 minutes. If anyone has made it here, thank you ever so much.
Yes, thanks guys for watching.
As always, subscribe, like, leave your comments down below. We went on all kinds of tangents there. So even though it says up here FA Cup chat, there was probably about 10 minutes of that, and the rest half an hour of it was just anything, really, if I'm honest. As always, guys, thanks for watching. And we will be doing a preview for the Preston game. That'll probably go out Friday. And we do want to do a little bit of a special on Acorns at some point. I don't think that will be this week now. I think it'll be probably in the coming weeks, hopefully. But we're hoping to try and do something rather special for that. So stay tuned on that. Yeah, brilliant. Well, Gary, send us off, mate.
Every week we follow the boys in claret and blue. Peace.
Cheers.